Bruh.
You gotta go after this.
Yo.
It's the Gamble and Ginter podcast. How we doing?
We're living in 2 cameras right now.
Hello.
2 cameras.
We could cleanly see
Lit.
everybody for
let
once.
us know how you guys like the new setup. But welcome
This shit is lit.
to the Gamble and Ginter podcast. Thank you as always for joining us. We have the hosts of the Nothing But Facts podcast,
Hello.
Hi, guys.
NBF Chloe,
How's it going?
Chloe Rogers, son of Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what the rest of the bit is.
Grandson
You
of
can do
Steve
your
Rogers.
thing, I
Grandson of
guess.
Steve Rogers.
Okay.
Son of Aaron Rodgers.
Grandson of Steve Rogers. How does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Bruh. Captain America's
Like chronologically, how does that make sense? How can that be possible?
So Captain America is Aaron Rodgers' dad, is what you're saying.
Fictional character.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It all makes sense now
Yeah,
then.
you get me?
It all makes a lot more sense.
That's how it goes.
I guess creatures, from a faraway land can reproduce at like 8, right?
I mean, they was all superhumans. You feel me? Didn't he like come back from the dead at a point?
Remember, like in like ancient Greek and Roman times, you had Achilles, who was like a normal man, but he was the son of an immortal goddess. Hercules, same idea.
Yeah, this is not where I thought I would start
like
the
a
show.
I was like,
modern-day god.
whoa, deep
that
dive.
does- yeah, that got crazy.
Went crazy.
NBF Trill,
Yeah,
Willie
I'm-
the Trill, back with us for a 3rd straight week. Thank you for joining us as always.
That's how losers don't need to come back.
My co-host Daniel Amano, as
Damn.
always.
Hello, everybody.
And we're about to get cracking. We will talk about my disappointing Gators and the college football action going on today. We currently have a couple games, so if you see some kids get distracted, it's all good. We're going to be following
Trying to
along
make
with
sure
you.
our money's
It's going to be
up.
the Tennessee-Georgia game we got eyes on. And also this game is second OT. I think Oklahoma
just
just scored.
Rattler
Oklahoma
just had
just
a
scored
got it
did the
first?
QB sneak again.
Oh, shit.
Feel
That's
me?
solid. That's solid. So we'll be keeping an eye on those throughout the broadcast. We also will talk about the NBA Finals. I'm sure this is a great show to have Chloe on. I'm glad we dodged the bullet of him just taking over the microphone and just talking shit fully. So I'm glad we missed that. We're not going to have this on this show. So thankfully, we don't have that. We're also going to get into Nostra Daniel, who was absolutely phenomenal last week. 4-0-1, absolutely trounced Willie the Trill.
I'm actually proud of your word choice there. Thank you.
Just
I
it
deserve nothing
wasn't a
less
close
than that.
contest. He had his lucky week, but we had Nostra Daniel. So
If
Nostradamus.
you follow Trill on Instagram, you can see how he was struggling throughout the week with the outfits he was wearing. and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
you feel me?
He tried posing as if it was
Yo.
some sort of like spirit week at work.
Yo,
but
it
he
was
just-
work,
He was on
bruh,
crack.
bruh.
Working from home just
No, he
Bruh.
was
Stuff like
smoking.
that.
No, he
Yo.
called out for the week. He smoked crack all week. That's
Yo,
what happened. 'cause he
I need
lost
you to
me.
understand. We launched some new products.
Oh no,
Oh,
no, we gotta
God,
talk
what's
about that
this?
after.
Nah. You
Scott,
need to
come
hear
on.
this.
Okay, what is it?
Literally, we launched some products that are ingestible, and we just
so
started
like hair
this
care
line.
products that are ingestible.
No, these are not. These are wellness products.
Mm.
Energy, all type of
They're about
shit.
to burn people's esophagus.
Bro, the first email I got was, I drunk it. I've been throwing up all day. I was just like, yep, there it go. There it go. I was like, look, I just ran outside. I was like, I can't do this no more. It's not worth it.
So Amano attempts the dreaded NBF sweep as they take on the I guess he was calling him the host.
He's a social media coordinator.
Hosts or jokes?
What was the name that you guys
I
had
don't know
for him?
at this point.
It's David
He's a
Cheeseborough.
coordinator.
He's a social media coordinator for
Yeah.
sure.
social media
sure.
for the social media coordinator. So
100%.
that's and
Shout
narrator.
out to Chizo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cheese. He's gonna pick against Daniel. We thank him for joining us in studio today. We didn't have enough chairs for him, so he'll be coming back next week if he beats the great Nostra Daniel. But again, 4-0-1 this week. Daniel, you have the floor. You have, if you want, you can give the opponent the first opportunity
I
to
always
pick.
give the sucker the first chance,
Oh,
especially
man.
Cheese. Cheese getting bitch slapped this
Whoa,
week.
whoa,
So I'm gonna have. We're gonna have. Wow.
That was aggressive.
Wow.
Wow.
No, you know how we got to do it with Cheese, because he be walking around big headed, with that preemie body of his.
He's not here to defend himself. though.
He doesn't
What the
need
hell?
to.
He's
because
just
if he was
watching.
here, you want to know what he would be doing? He'd be smiling back. Oh wow,
No,
okay,
he's-
Cowboys. That's what Cheese would be doing.
Okay, so I will be announcing his picks that he gives throughout. So his first pick this week for Cheese, we gave him Carolina versus the Atlanta Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons, they are just not very good. Taking on Teddy B, Robbie Anderson. A lot of Broward boys.
South
Miami
Florida.
boys.
What's the
South
spread
Florida
on that
boys.
one?
We got
Florida.
-1.5 favoring the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm going Panthers.
I'm going Panthers 100%.
Panthers.
Cheese has the Panthers in that one.
1.5.
1.5
that's too
point
favorable.
spread.
They were
right?
looking good last week.
So you're getting 1.5 points for Carolina in this game, and Atlanta can't defend the pass. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson have been
Shout out,
very instrumental, and Mike Davis has probably been almost their best receiver. You can argue,
Someone
as well
tried
as
to
their
trade
best
me.
Man,
running.
he's been an RB1 since McCaffrey, bro.
He's got 2 more weeks of it. let's be
Exactly.
honest.
I'm like,
Some way-
bruh.
like if you have him, go trade him. Go get whatever. You can get something crazy.
There's someone
Some
tried to
early,
trade me
some
for my
early
starter.
fantasy advice. We'll get into that segment as well. But yeah, he's got Carolina 1.5 points. He's getting 1.5 points in this game. Cheese's first pick, Carolina. So
Okay. you gave it to him nice and easy to start off. It's okay. We got to softball it to the softy. It's all right.
Wow.
Daniel, what's your pick?
All right. So my game is the Cardinals and Jets +7.5. This is one of those rare home doggies, but it's the Jets.
The Jets, they're a dog to everyone.
And
Yes.
I think the Cardinals are absolutely going to win this by 7.5 points. I think they got to bounce back after the week they had last week.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler's going to go off, and I think Kenyon Drake is actually going to have a solid week for himself because he started off rough as well. And DeAndre Hopkins is going to eat off of this Jets defense.
I think that's the biggest thing of this matchup is you have no one to cover DeAndre Hopkins.
They could
You
put
only
2
have
people on him.
they could put 6 guys on.
Crowder
them.
went for like over Crowder.
So I
And
mean,
they still got Fitzgerald.
that's the one thing about the Jets that makes this game pretty interesting because the Cardinals' defense hasn't been great the last couple of games. I mean, they could not stop that Carolina team from running the football on them. And Jamison Crowder, they kind of found their offense when they're healthy. But, I mean, it's a 7.5 point dog. And is Arizona that 7.5 points better than any team? I think there's a lot of teams that are 7.5 points.
I think
better than
given
the
that they
Jets.
had an off week last week, this is going to be a big bounce
Well, the last
back
2
week.
weeks they've lost 2
Oh,
in a
2
row.
weeks
They
in a row,
they
yeah.
started 2-0.
It's a perfect team to do it against.
Yep.
Joe Flacco starting.
Oh, Joe Flacco going to
For
snap?
the Jets?
Yeah, he started.
He's on the Jets?
Joe Flacco is starting this week. No Sam
He's out
Bradford
there.
playing.
Wow.
So, second game for Cheese. He's got the Oakland Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. This game is at an 11.5 point spread favoring the hometown Chiefs.
Jesus Christ.
Definitely the odds makers were not impressed with Oakland at all after their loss to the Bills last week.
Wow.
That is a big number to give a team. And this is kind of a rivalry matchup. I don't think Oakland has the pieces to step or play with anything that Kansas City has, but 11.5 points are a lot of points. So Cheese is taking the 11.5 points and taking the Las Vegas Raiders
Wow.
Like, is he choosing them to win or to cover?
to cover. That's
I
what
was
we've
gonna
done
say,
the
'cause
game.
I'm-
We've
I'm
done the
gonna-
game.
I'm
You've
just
done the
making
game
sure.
5 weeks.
I'm
now.
making sure. I'm making sure.
It's
I gotta
your
double-
game.
I got to double
How
check.
do you not
he
know?
may have put in words the Las Vegas Raiders are about to win. He may have said that. So let me double check. But I agree with him. I think they cover, but I think the Chiefs are definitely going to win that game.
So we got the Battle of Philadelphia or Pennsylvania going out, and this is a pretty rare game. I wish this game is played a little bit more often. Like everyone kind of gets one of those AFC NFC rivalry games that are pretty close in travel. You give the Dolphins, Tampa Bay, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish they would have one of those. No matter what division is. But Philadelphia taking on Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. I don't know if they have any fans there. It was really weird seeing fans in college football games. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. But what do you got? I mean, Pittsburgh's been rolling 3-0 against a team and Carson Wentz against playing maybe one of the best defenses in the league.
I'm like a little torn on this one. Like I want to say Steelers, but something tells me the Eagles might actually cover that. But I'm still gonna stick with the Steelers to win by 7.5 points or more.
Now, the Eagles were unexpected covers last game, and they've been very good as dogs historically. It's not the best team, but they do stay in games for the most part. A big turnover is the difference, and that defense is much improved from last year. They haven't really played a lot of good teams and have lost, but I mean, you got to take it as is. They are the first place Eagles playing the first place Steelers. So you got to take that into account. They should get Deontay Johnson back. Darius Slay versus Deontay Johnson. We'll talk about that a little bit later during the fantasy segment because I definitely have questions about him. But Philly, Pittsburgh, what do you got?
I'm going with the Steelers, winning by 7.5 or more.
Steelers covering
Yeah,
at home.
I think they cover. They're at home. I mean, I don't know. I can't see them letting the Eagles, especially how rough the Eagles have been this year, really stay in this, or at least late in the game, like they just drag it away.
No, I definitely see that right there. So, next game we got is the Los Angeles Rams are going to be on the road playing our favorite team, the Washington Football Team.
What's
7.5 points given to the Washington Football Team at home. We've got ourselves some home doggies. Now, the Rams have looked really good this season. However, they had trouble against a putrid Giants team last game. And they are traveling, staying on the East Coast.
And Kyle Allen starting for Washington.
Kyle Allen, the X Factor,
Who did
coming
Chiefs
in
choose?
for the football team. So, Cheese chose the Rams. He doesn't believe in the football team. I don't blame him. He's also a Cowboys fan, so that makes a lot of sense as well.
I got to disagree with him because I think the Washington Football Team will cover that.
Well, is Chase Young playing? I don't know that for a fact,
That is
but definitely
also a
keep that in
factor.
mind.
Yeah.
If Chase Young is playing, that's a pretty good spread for this game.
If he plays, I'll take the cover.
I think the best part of the Redskins game is their offensive line, to be honest with you. The guy Gibson has been pretty good. McLaurin, we'll see how he reacts with a new quarterback. But we'll see. That's always an interesting game when West goes out to East. So I gave it to you again. Miami versus San Francisco.
And it's an 8-point spread, right?
It's an 8-point spread.
With this one, I feel like the Dolphins are definitely going to cover. It's going to be.
Garoppolo's coming.
I know.
Garoppolo is starting
I
for
think he's going to have
San
a rough
Francisco.
start coming back. That first game's always a little rocky. I don't think he's going to come back.
Raheem Mostert comes back too. I don't know. Kittle's back as well.
I still think Miami could cover. Fitzpatrick has been doing great with the offense. He hasn't been doing as great as he usually is.
He's made some stupid decisions.
He has. That's why I'm not saying the Dolphins are going to win, but he has been keeping them in games.
The offense has been moving, but he's been making some stupid decisions, and they haven't been scoring in the red zone. 5 field goals last game against the Seattle team. Now, they didn't play them bad. They're definitely improved. And I think 8 points is a lot of points to be giving a team like San Francisco with a lot of injury concerns. They don't have Bosa on their perimeter, but their defense still seems to be pretty good. Kittle could go for 250 during this game today.
He did he had 15 catches.
Exaggerating a little bit, but I really like the matchup for Kittle in this game. But we've got Miami at +8 there. So Cheese's favorite team, I guess, is the Cowboys. Loves the Cowboys.
Unfortunately.
I've seen him a couple times on the show. He wears a Cowboys jersey.
If anybody ever wants to get him a new Cowboys jersey, he wears a child's large.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's got Dallas. They're playing the Giants. They are 8-point favorites. Why do they suck on defense?
I don't know. But
They don't
Yeah,
have
keep
any
pieces
sort of
out.
corner.
all of their
whatsoever.
games have pretty much been close games. I want to say what was the score last week, though? I think that was like an exception there.
Mhm.
What was their
like
score?
48 something. I don't even know.
49-38.
Yeah, the other games they kept relatively close.
They're going to score 30 and give
I
up
don't
40.
I don't know. Maybe
Some shit like
there's a
that.
chance that the Giants could actually keep up with them. They didn't
no, I
have
think
the
the
Giants
Giants
didn't have
have
a bad week last week. They kept
I think
in it with the
Giants
49ers.
through 4 weeks have like 3 total touchdowns on offense.
They
or
have
4.
3 total touchdowns
Yeah,
on
so it's like-
offense.
I just
The
want
Cowboys
to
might
go
just be
against
like,
him
fuck
on the
it.
Cowboys,
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah.
I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, Dallas looks like overwhelming. Like, they deserve the overwhelming favorite in this game, even though they've underperformed this season. There's no way of cutting it. Dak's been amazing. It hasn't been Dak's fault, hasn't been CD's fault, hasn't been anyone on that offense. Everyone on the offense deserves
Zeke could be
raises.
a little better. Zeke could be a little better.
It was crazy if it
Eh.
if it wasn't for that onside kick, they'd be 0-4 like when they would have lost to the Falcons.
Yep.
Yep.
That would have been
So I think this is maybe the most interesting game in the week. Probably 3-1 versus 3-1. The Indianapolis Colts versus the Cleveland Browns. Hard to think of a 3-1 Cleveland Browns team, but here we are. Maybe this is the team that we thought they were going to be when they signed
if
Odell
they're
and Jarvis.
for real, they're gonna ball against this defense.
Now they don't have. I mean, to
Is
have
this
that
defense-
running back depth of
Well-
Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb, I mean, it really pays off for
but
right
one
now.
thing though, people got to realize with the Browns is last week those great plays they made were all trick plays. Are they gonna run complete trick plays to win their games? They can't do that on every single game, and
I mean, they
especially
put
with
up
this Colts
48
defense.
points.
The Colts defense right now.
Defense is number 1 in literally every statistic.
They were
right
saying
now.
that this Colts
They're
defense is on
fucking
pace to be
crazy.
probably or potentially one of the greatest, if not the greatest, defense of all time because of its
They
statistics.
don't carry Phillip Rivers to the playoffs.
Yeah. So honestly, it's a 1-point spread. I'm going with the Colts. I don't think the Browns are going to keep in that by 1 point. You know, like I don't think they're going to cover a 1-point spread. I'm definitely going to go with the Colts. So the Colts are having a phenomenal season.
So, Cheese's last pick, we have the Chargers versus the Saints, which, Willie, we were talking about a little bit about this game because the Chargers look good. Justin Herbert looks really good.
Yep.
And this offense seems to be clicking on a lot of good, the defense, definitely needs some work. They got diced up by Brady when they went down there, but they go into New Orleans, and New Orleans is getting 9 points. Now, historically, Monday night, the New Orleans Saints at home, it's a rout.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, you can't take that under context, and Drew Brees started to come back, and Michael Thomas could be making his return on Monday night. The long-awaited Michael Thomas, the possibly best receiver in football, Michael Thomas. And you
He
can
better
just,
hurry up and get healthy. That's all I know.
Yes, I agree.
Mhm.
I
For
couldn't
the
agree.
sake
I
of
got
my
so much.
fantasy team.
Yes,
So many.
yes.
people.
Please get healthy. Make sure you're healthy this week. I believe Oklahoma just won the game.
This nigga shanked
Oh,
the
no, he just
31-yarder.
Yeah, they
He
just
missed
missed.
it.
He
Field goal.
shanked a 31-yard field goal. Oh my god,
Also, Texas gonna win.
bro! No, they
They're going
blocked
to third
Texas
OT.
field goal already. That was to win the game.
This is Big 12 football at its
so
best.
another-
Shanky kickers, touchdowns, overtimes.
Bruh, Texas thought it was over, bruh.
Well, this was the spread on this game was 72.5 over, and it's clean over that right now. I mean, you're
Overtime started at
you're talking this is at
31-31.
90 points already. But
Yeah.
last pick for Daniel. So Cheese has got the Chargers in that game.
I honestly would agree with him. I
That's a
like the
lot of
Chargers.
points to be giving the Chargers, who look very good and historically stay in ball games. You get Joey Bosa on that turf coming out. Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram against Drew Brees. There's good corners on that
Justin
team.
Herbert's starting to really come into his own too. He's
I
starting to
think-
really get
yeah,
that pro level confidence.
It seems like you kind of feel like the way with him that you felt with Daniel Jones when you saw him at first.
Yeah, I kind of like him a little better than I
Yeah,
did
like
Daniel
him a
Jones
lot
at
better than
first.
I never thought that. I was like, okay.
People was hype on Daniel Jones.
That's
I
what
didn't-
I'm saying.
They rode him
No,
so
he had
hard.
some
That was
great-
probably the worst decision the Giants ever made in a
Bro,
long time.
his best record at Duke was 7-5, and they drafted him 4th overall. Like, bruh, they was like, oh, he was coached by the quarterback whisperer. That don't mean shit. He is
Mediocrity goes in
trash.
the first round to the Giants.
He is
Think
He was
trash.
good shit.
They was like, oh, Eli got coached by him too, and we saw what that did. So maybe we could. No, that shit don't work, bruh. Those are Mannings. They built different.
So
The nephew.
last game for Daniel, we got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Seattle Seahawks.
With a 7-point spread, I will say this was my toughest one.
Really?
In my eyes, this was my toughest one.
So Minnesota came in last week. They beat the Texans, who thankfully keep losing Texans for my Dolphins to get your pick at number 1. And then we'd have to trade Tua to get Trevor Lawrence. That would be unfortunate, or they take
Whoa.
that huge tackle.
Whoa.
Look, you look at the Vikings
Well, let's see what
versus
Tua
the
can do
Texans, and then now you have the Vikings versus the Seahawks. I'm not saying they're completely similar, but like, you know, the Seahawks offense with Russ is kind of similar to like the Texans offense with like Deshaun. They're kind of like similarly built. They move about the same. Deshaun, I would say, obviously is a little more evasive and quick, but Russ isn't far behind him at all. So
Russ has the much better team.
he does, and that's the thing. I think his defense also saves him. I think he does have a better set of receivers. Carson is definitely a stronger back than David Johnson is right now.
Now I'll give you a matchup on that end where it looks like they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Minnesota is in trouble. We've got Justin Jefferson on one side, Adam Thielen on the other. The problem that Seattle's had is covering perimeter receivers the entire year.
I was gonna say Justin Jefferson has been a beast.
Bro,
And
both
guess-
of these teams' defenses are like.
And
what's
guess
the
what?
over on that game?
So the over on that game, I believe, is
'Cause
56
their
at last
secondaries are so bad.
at last
both of
check.
them.
But yes, both teams are really, really good. The problem,
Good check on that.
And then,
and- And you
That's
get Minnesota in that sense. You're getting 7 points. I think Seattle's one of the better teams in football, though.
Yeah,
And,
top 5
and this
for
is
sure.
prime. You're talking about prime time Kirk Cousins versus prime time
Over
Russell
under is
Wilson.
56
Oh,
and a half.
whoa,
56 and a half.
whoa.
56
You said
and a half.
prime time? This is a prime time game?
Prime time.
is-
Oh, yeah,
this
Kirk
is
Cousins
Sunday night,
folded.
8:20 p.m.
Kirk Cousins known to fold in
8:20,
prime
Sunday
time.
night.
Kirk Cousins folds in prime time. Y'all don't know this? He has like a record of like 3-12 in prime time game. Bruh, you
Yeah,
can look
it's
that
a
up.
20 game.
DK and
He's
Lockett
terrible.
are top 5 receivers. 2 receivers. But that hasn't been done since I think.
But
when Manning
Justin
in Denver.
Jefferson's been one of the highest. He's definitely the
Yeah,
highest
he's-
rated
he-
rookie
he's
this
going-
year.
he going-
No doubt
him
about it.
Him and CD right there. I think CD's the only one higher than him in the fantasy.
His
rankings.
PFF rankings
Yeah,
is higher.
It would just
PFF
be
at wide
him,
receivers.
CD.
Which
I think the PPF. I think total overall receivers through like the 4 weeks or the past week, it was Jefferson at 1, and Thielen was either at 2 or 4.
they do a lot. They
They're
do
going
everything that a
crazy.
receiver needs, and
Mhm.
they're on the field all the time.
I think ultimately I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks winning that and covering. Russ just has too many weapons. It's his year right now. I mean, like it's pretty much between him and Aaron Rodgers for the MVP at this point.
So
Yeah, man.
Y'all trying that,
Skills
man,
is
in
killing it,
Buffalo.
That boy snapping. But yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks winning by 7 or more.
Josh Allen for sure too, but
Oh,
Aaron
Josh
Rodgers.
Allen too. Yeah, Josh Allen's definitely.
And
I'd
you know
probably
what's the
put
crazy
Josh
thing?
Allen a little ahead of Aaron Rodgers, given the fact that nobody.
In what? In
Mahomes,
fantasy?
No, for MVP.
Mahomes' expectation is like all the way up here, but he has the same exact, like nearly the same stats.
I mean,
as Aaron
I
Rodgers.
think given
Aaron
that
Rodgers-
he can't follow up.
Aaron
The two
Rodgers has
seasons
done it
but
with.
he literally has the same stats
Here's-
as Aaron Rodgers.
Here's
right
how
now.
I'll put it.
He's
To be
just-
honest with you,
because he's so fire.
Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs right now,
number 6.
and Aaron Rodgers
5.
has Robert Tonyan. That's the difference. That's the difference, and I think where the Packers are, it's more on what
But
Aaron Rodgers
you
has
gotta
done
remember, people
than
were
how
counting
where
out-
Josh Allen's was.
People were counting out Josh Allen. People were thinking that
No,
the
I
Bills are about to
agree.
move on from
I
Josh
mean,
yeah, for
Allen.
what
sure.
I'm not saying is his season's fantastic. I think there's no argument of that. But you're comparing him to Aaron Rodgers.
I think it shows you how much the quarterback position has really evolved, because look at all these next level quarterbacks and traditional style quarterbacks going at it for the MVP. You gotta fucking love it. Honestly, it's great.
I'm saying all I'm saying is Aaron Rodgers does more to the success of his team than Josh Allen does for his, and Josh Allen has started amazing.
Josh Allen almost broke his wrist last week, came back and still won.
Yeah, tough kid, that's for sure.
I think they're neck and neck.
So, college football, definitely not good for me. As a Gator fan, seeing
We're just
them
sticking to
go
the
down.
coastal chain of
So
players.
it was very weird that the SEC to see no defense being played in the SEC. Even this Georgia Tennessee game is, it seems like the Georgia team is a really really good defensive team. Right now we got 14-7 on that game, but there were Big 12 scores in the SEC and some big upsets. LSU going down to Missouri, and of course Florida going down to Texas A&M.
The Missouri one is huge.
I think the biggest story of the weekend was, did you see how many people were in that Texas A&M stands?
No.
They had what they said on the broadcast was that it was 20% full. It was at least 80% full.
Oh yeah,
It was
They
loud.
pass around the Rona.
It was loud.
Like this.
It was a great home field environment to be playing at. It felt good to watch, but also a little bit eerie. But so I mean, I don't know. In a lot of those places, they're just they're not following regulations.
Oh, we
like
gonna
that.
hear Texas A&M shut down on Tuesday.
That will be interesting. That would be Texas A&M and Florida would be off the schedule for a little bit. But I mean, really some good games going on tonight. You got not FSU playing.
Clemson for sure.
I mean,
So it's
we gonna show up with heart. That's what we do every week. We show up with heart and guts and soul.
Can they cover a 20 point spread
Yeah,
against the
21
Notre Dame
point
Fighting
spread.
Irish?
Look,
Yes or no?
I predicted the spread right on the Florida State Miami. So yeah, we gonna cover the spread tonight. We not losing by more than 21. I'll tell you that much.
21. Okay.
We got too much pride and we got a little quarterback now. So yeah.
We got a little quarterback, okay. And then we got Miami, who gets to play Clemson this week. Clemson looks like the best team in college football. Miami looks really good as well. So in a 15-point spread, I mean,
I think it's
that's a
dropped
lot
now.
of
I think
points
it's
to
like
give
at 14
Miami.
or 14.5, but I think I would still take Miami over that.
I feel like there's a lot of money moving on Miami because they are not a bad team. It's just how dominant is this Clemson team, because Miami's going to be in it throughout the entire year. I mean, if they lose to Clemson, that doesn't necessarily end their season, because if they still have the ACC championship game, they might as well see Clemson in that game. So I think it's a big game for Miami to go into there. I think Clemson has too much. Miami may cover. But
Oh,
Clemson
Miami to
has
cover.
too much tonight. I do
I think
like them
that
to
might
win.
be a game that what's the over-under on that again?
So the over-under on that one, I think it's been going down. I got it at 15. So Miami plus 15.
No, the over-under, not the spread.
Oh, the over-under for that game? I believe it's about 59. I can definitely
feel like
double-check
that one's gonna be
Yeah, it was
under.
59.5 from what I saw.
I feel like that one might be an under game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Clemson's got a really, really good defense, and there's on that line, apparently, that dude Rosal is a top 10 draft pick. I've been seeing him in a lot of mock drafts up there. So, I mean, there's some good defensive talent on Miami as well. It would be really interesting to see what they can do tonight. But so, lastly, we got to talk about at least the NBA Finals. But first, we're going to get into your fantasy football questions. And, of course, definitely, if you have any more, you can send them over to Gamble on Ginter. Follow us at Gamble on
Well, if
Ginter.
you're watching right now, write it in the chat.
Right in the
That
chat if
too.
you want. You can throw it right in the chat for any questions that you have. We got Chloe, we got Willie. They're the best. Not the best, but
I
they
make
can
it happen.
definitely help. They can. They're people I would consult before starting your lineup this week. And I'll start with my individual question, because I've got a problem at receiver where it's every week I have to decide between 5 really good receivers. Who am I going to start? And obviously I'm going to choose wrong no matter what.
Yeah.
So already starting Robert Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Already starting DJ Moore just because of the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I got to fill one more spot for a receiver.
Who are all your receivers?
So I got Tyler Boyd,
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Parker, and Deontay Johnson left. I got to start one more. Deontay against Philly. So he's going to get the Darius Slay treatment.
Unless Juju's not hurt.
Well, Juju plays more in the slot. Darius Slay is more of an outside guy.
I like Deontay because they be doing little quick passes, and he's so agile. And also because I have him on my fantasy team, so he's going
Okay,
okay,
but so you think that you got anything else? You think?
Honestly, Deontay Johnson, if Juju plays, then yeah, you got to start him. If Juju's healthy, then he's not going to see
healthy.
Darius Slay. There's no reason for him
Well,
to see Darius Slay.
I mean, what I'm saying is Juju plays more in the slot.
You got to put your number one corner on their best receiver.
But that's not how most teams do it. And some of those
Shit.
guys, like I know Pat Peterson ain't following you to the slot.
Look, if you a number one corner and Darius Slay just got paid this offseason, better go follow that motherfucker. Look, Jalen Ramsey follows people. Marlon Humphrey follows people. Marshawn Lattimore follows people. Casey, bruh, the top corners follow people. So if you got the money, you better show it.
No, I agree. And what do you think about Tyler Boyd against your Marlon Humphreys this week?
Oklahoma.
Tyler
And
Boyd is locks.
Oklahoma wins
No
in
keys.
4 overtimes.
Locks, no keys. I don't think he's the strong receiver this week. Maybe Alden Tate or T. Higgins from that Bengals team, but I don't think Tyler Boyd is the man this week.
We didn't have that game on there, but it is a 12.5-point spread. I'm interested because of your Ravens knowledge, what you think of Joe Burrow and the Bengals, who seem to be playing really well, especially against the spread this year, and what they'll look like against really their first real test.
I'm a little concerned spread-wise. I mean, I know we're going to win, but 12 points, it's all about how our defense plays. We're going to, regardless, score 30 points. Bad week, score 30. Good week, score 30 plus. So
there's a lot of volume on that team to go around. So we got that. We got that here. Who do you guys have as your sleeper this week? You know, we always try to do this and get a good
Well, let me ask
sleeper
this
going.
about a sleeper.
Kenyon
real
Drake,
quick.
I
was about
expect him
ask
to
about
bounce
Kenyon
back,
Drake.
bro.
I got Kenyon Drake on my team. Do you
That's
think
more
this
of a
is-
bounce
He's gonna go
back.
stupid. Cheese want to bench him, bro. He's gonna go dumb. Melvin Gordon went crazy. He could go crazy, 100%. He hasn't had a game this week. I mean, this year.
What do you
That's
think about
trash.
Chase Edmonds possibly in this game? Maybe not starting, but
You would start him if you have like a 14-man league, you start him. But in a 10-man league, you got way better options. You could find someone on the waiver wire that's probably gonna produce more than him.
no, I definitely see that. I mean, I don't really have like a really big one. You know what? I'll take anyone on the Giants. So let's go Daniel Jones. Let's go Daniel Jones is going to throw for 7 touchdowns in that game.
Jesus Christ.
No. Let's not go Daniel.
He might get benched.
Let's not go with him. But you know what? I'll give you a bounce back. Evan Ingram. I think Evan Ingram has a really good game.
I'm so disappointed in him,
the
yo.
Seahawks receivers are gonna snap. Dak probably gonna snap again against.
Well,
the
I just
Giants.
expect Tyler Lockett to have a bounce back game for sure.
Trill, let me ask you about this. What are you thinking about the Ravens' defense against Joey Bag of Money Burrow?
Start them. I have 'em in my defense. In my league, they're like number 3. They put up.
Even with
Yeah, they are the number. They're the number 3
fucking
defense.
fire,
even
bro.
with
5
Kansas
points.
City shitting on us, we're still the number 3 defense. So
I think they had 3 points that game and they lost by 14. They're crazy. They just be there.
I mean, yeah. So we got all of that going, in the world of the NFL and going over to the NBA. Chloe, what happened to your Lakers last night?
Yeah. Yo. Markieff Morris threw the game.
mm.
He said,
Do you
"Nah."
ever so as
Ronnie
a
was like, bro, I'm gonna get my ass beat when he comes home.
he's
gotta go to
he's
Sunday.
throwing some money over to Jimmy Butler saying keep him in there.
He's in FaZe Clan now. He's vibing. He's like, yo, here, just throw the game. Just do it. Just do what you gotta do. You
Honestly,
can't come home.
I saw the question get asked: is Jimmy Butler potentially LeBron's greatest foe in the finals now? This man dropped 2 triple doubles on him.
Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson are
Yeah,
his
like
biggest
that, Draymond
nemesis.
Green and all
I
that,
think
but
Kevin
like-
Durant, is like the main one you look
what
at.
happened with COVID and everything, like these finals, bro, they're gonna be remembered because they're not some boring ass finals. This shit is lit.
It's just
it gotta go
and
to
I'm
7
saying
now.
If
I would
every
be
game
upset.
was how it was yesterday,
Going to
I would have
7.
been dead
If-
by
if
game
the-
4.
now,
That's
if-
how crazy that game was. Like game 7 Warriors Cavs. a couple
Real
months
I
stuff.
think it's gonna be that intense now, and I think if the Heat do want to win it, especially in 7, they need to have their backs against
Wait,
the wall. Like
Ain't
it's
no other
every
way for
game.
us to win it, big dog.
yeah.
with
It's only in 7.
You gotta beat LeBron James in 7.
I know.
what I noticed about that game, and you'll see this with a lot of, is like an injury will really change what Vegas thinks about a team, and they'll just forget about what it looked like before. A 7.5 point spread for the Miami Heat. They ain't going out like clowns. This is a very, very good
Yeah, they're gonna go out
basketball team,
swinging.
and I thought it was a little bit. It was kind of great just to see it, honestly, because ESPN was just blowing it out of proportion. They were crowning him even before. It was nice to kind of get that Ray Allen moment.
There were news trucks outside of the Staples Center preparing for a potential parade.
Just fantastic. So they wore the jerseys that they were gonna bury him in.
If we get to game 7, all bets is off. Anything could fucking
I
happen.
was
Well,
gonna say I'm gonna be real.
Well, Lakers
If,
have
like-
home court,
if
so that's gonna
Miami
be a big
beats
advantage.
the Lakers
I
in
guess.
Game 6, if Miami beats the Lakers in Game 6, I really, really think Miami actually might take it.
It's a big if. You're asking for.
No.
You're asking.
LeBron
to-
is one of those
it's a
guys. You
big
derail
if.
his momentum like that, it goes off the rails big time.
But
And he's with a bunch of guys
here-
that have shit
And
momentum
here's the thing.
and
That was
mentalities.
probably the LeBron game.
LeBron
Like
James.
LeBron play was absolutely phenomenal. Like
I
there's
know.
don't even
Mm.
for his standards, he was phenomenal last
LeBron
night.
and AD weren't the issue last night. It
No,
was
they
weren't.
everyone else.
As honestly as a Heat basketball player, watching all the greatness that LeBron does, if he's hitting 6 threes and you still win, great. Great.
AD did 28 and 12,
Because
bro.
that's exactly what you want to be giving him up. You saw late in that game what LeBron was doing. He was bullying people on the offensive boards. That's where LeBron destroys teams, is inside. And then he destroys them. He brings 3 people to your defense, and he gets to dish it out to Danny Green. Easy 3.
Bruh.
He
Jeez.
caught the ball. He could have taken a dribble and stepped in a little
Yep.
closer because he was
Just
like
get
a
comfy
foot or
real
2
quick.
behind.
He
the
had
line.
so much faith in Danny Green. He
Man.
just thought back to the 2013 finals.
Like,
He was
remember when
like,
he hit
yo,
that shit on me?
he
Oh,
was
yeah.
shooting against me. He could shoot this open shot. And
Every time Danny Green gets the ball, like he's the weirdest player in the NBA where he can only really shoot that 3 in the corner.
not
You're
only
feeling
that,
you're
And,
feeling like
there has to be someone there.
His-
He can't hit
it's
open
gotta-
shots.
he's got to have someone closing out on him.
Mhm.
Because he has to have rhythm. I feel like if he catches it wide open, he thought. And you
Danny
can't
Green-
think when you shooting a basketball, bro. You're going to fuck up every single time.
He hit that for the Spurs and the Raptors at a point, right? And
Bro, he's
now-
a shooter.
Yeah,
He's been playing with LeBron since LeBron was in Cleveland, and people really know about it.
Yeah.
To be honest, expect for the Lakers to honestly take him out of the rotation at this point. I mean,
JR about
they
to
are
hey
never
JR
gonna-
Henny guy.
They're never gonna let him wear
That's
that
gonna be some
Mamba
legendary
uni
shit.
again. They never gonna let him wear that Mamba
Well, you
uni
know-
again. Like, bro, you ain't got no Mamba mentality. Take that shit off. You sitting out tonight. Put a suit on.
Dwight Howard pussy. That's all I know. Dwight Howard pussy.
Jimmy Butler was
I
about to
catch
slap
Dwight
him.
Howard in these streets. He
You'd
ain't
lose.
eating no more.
You'd lose. You'd lose.
You would lose.
It wouldn't be close.
one
I catch him with
With
I
one
catch
hand.
I
You'd
catch Dwight
lose
Howard with
by
my
a
car.
lot.
Oh, all right then.
He'll break your car.
Nah, he not beating no
You
car.
gonna flip your car over, bro.
Nah, bro, I ain't trying to hear that. All I know is that
That boy will palm your head.
look, I watched that game last night. My heart was beating. I was walking around the house. I was breathing
I
hard.
watched the last like 6 minutes standing up in my room.
Bro, I was just pacing back. I was on the clock. I need y'all to understand that.
Next game when Dwight Howard starts, start UD. Let UD just
I
take
don't
him out
think-
the
I
game
don't
real
think
quick,
Dwight Howard
and that's
started
it.
last game. I think they.
No, he did. He did start.
He
I'm
did
pretty.
start?
I'm like 95% certain he started.
He ain't
Because
play
they
that much
started.
after he
They
injured.
started.
He's
Danny Green.
only good if AD is in there because they can run twin towers and you basically can't drive. But Dwight Howard can't play center alone
LeBron-
because you're going to pull his ass out on every
It's
pick
gonna
and
be
roll.
Tomorrow is gonna be the exact same game.
Their forwards and
It's gonna be some
centers
crazy
for the
shit.
starting lineup,
It's
if
gonna
I'm
be
not
some
mistaken,
crazy
was
shit.
My whole-
LeBron,
And
AD, and Dwight.
Shit. The Heat players ain't even go off like that. All we had was Jimmy and Duncan.
A big thing, and this is no disrespect to him, but Duncan Robinson, is he gonna have another 26-point game?
He
Bruh?
don't need
He
that,
can do-
bruh. Jay
That's what I'm
Crowder hit
saying.
2 threes.
That's what I'm
Tyler
saying.
Hero
People
only had
have to-
11.
People have to respect
Bam
him
had
because
11.
If
He
it
did
wasn't
like what
for,
Mike
if it
Miller
wasn't
did
for
when Mike
him,
Miller lost the
the
shoe
game
that
would
one
have been
game.
over. He
You-
went off.
You just got to look at the Heat losses or the Heat wins previous in the series. Some games it's going to be Robinson going off
That's
with
what I'm
Jimmy
saying.
Butler.
Someone else has to go
Sometimes
crazy.
it's going to be Tyler Hero going off.
Yep.
It depends on the game. Kendrick Nunn had good
He
minutes.
showed up. I was like,
He
oh,
he
he
was
had
going
Rona
in.
earlier.
He was going in.
Fine,
He
making
was
smart
snatching.
None.
decisions.
Was playing great. Kelly O was out of the lineup. They went to a 7-man rotation. Iggy, big part of that game.
Jimmy Butler was back in Chicago. He had rest for 48 seconds.
Bruh, think
Sweet.
about this.
That's how much.
The
48
team that
fucking
finished the
seconds.
court
That's-
last night
He
was
stepped out like, I'm
Iggy,
going back in.
Jay Crowder, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, and Bam.
Bro, it's so lit. Iguodala and LeBron have
Bruh.
been
Literally
going at
started
it
dunking
for
as
so
a
Jay
long.
shooting
Crowder
guard.
and Iguodala weren't even on the team halfway through the season.
It's crazy to think how
And they
that
finishing
trade,
out the games
how that
and
trade
they
has worked out so well for the Heat.
Right.
You know what's the everyone was talking
Was-
shit about
was
trading for
upset that they
Iguodala.
gave-
They were
Well,
like,
they-
Iguodala
they were
dead,
upset-
bro.
no,
He
no,
can't
no,
do
Iguodala
shit.
No.
wins.
Heat fans were upset to give up Winslow because they couldn't get over the fact that he's just not healthy.
Yeah.
Now,
Man, that
no,
nigga
Jay
fried.
Crowder is a much
Bust.
better defender than
But
much
he,
better
but
defender
he wasn't
than
even
Winslow
playing
is.
like that in Memphis.
Stroke
Like
over there.
people, like Pat Riley really loves those 10-year vets like that who come in cheap and they're good basketball players. They've had Jay Crowder on their radar, and plus Marquette, dude.
Jay Crowder, the new Udonis Haslam. Udonis Haslam about to become a coach because he been stealing money too long.
No, but that's the thing. You can hire.
Where's he gonna coach?
Bruh, for the Heat, bruh,
You
he
can hire another coach.
his vet minimum. I told you this. It is
It's like
based
$5
on
million.
exactly.
It's like
It's
$5 million,
based
and he deserves it.
on how many years you're in the league. So he's the only active 40-year-old, and he's been in the league 18 years.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been as
His
long
vet
as,
minimum is 5,
He came
almost
in the league
6
came in the
the
league
million.
years LeBron and them.
Yeah, he was undrafted that year.
Bruh, he don't play. He plays one game a year, the 82nd game of the year,
That's
because no one else is trying to die in that game. That's it.
Bro, I bet you.
That's
I
the
would-
bet you though.
captain,
I
would
bet
pay
you
to
he
have
gets
that
a
job.
minute at least at one point in the finals. I feel like they're gonna bring him out.
Bruh,
at
they
least
need to
for
bring
1
him
minute
in
at
next
some point.
game and just let him truck stick a
Just
nigga for
sit-
no reason.
Dwight
Just
Howard, let him truck stick Dwight.
Fuck
Dwight
that.
Howard want to make himself
Let
a
him-
target.
Just-
Let him
Bruh.
go after Jimmy
Just-
Butler.
he could just suplex
just
AD.
use your six fouls any way you'd like.
Just
Yeah.
suplex AD, take
That's
AD
usually
out.
what
That's our
UD's
best
for.
bet.
Like, oh, UD starting, he's about to fuck somebody up. Everybody knows that.
Now I literally saw the injury when I saw when Anthony Davis went down. I thought he was seriously hurt, but apparently other Lakers fans have seen this 12 different times from Anthony Davis.
My whole thing is, I thought it was serious, definitely, especially to where he grabbed, Achilles, everything of that nature. I'm just like, bruh, he literally rolled his ankle, and like, it's one thing to jump up in the air and land on someone's foot and roll your ankle. But everyone knows that, bruh, if you just walk in and roll your ankle on your own, that shit hurts in a whole different way.
Yeah.
And he's just running full
he
speed
landed
down the
normally.
paint and was just and I was like, oh, he just fried himself and KCP on the same play. So, look, AD gonna play, but you got to go at him every single play. And if you're the Heat, bruh, the fuck you got to lose? Like, you take every single shot like it's the last, bruh. Like, you're not even supposed to be here. Nobody picked you. 75-1 odds. You know the story. So, what's there to talk about? Just show up and play.
Eating 7.
We built different, bruh. He played 47 of.
It's going to be great because if we're getting the level of gameplay that we had in Game 6 and Game 7, it's going to end. No matter the way it ends, it's going to end great. I hope to see 7 games of this. I really do. With Bam healthy and everything going on, I would like to see at least 7. But
if it get to 7, Dragic coming out there, bitch, in a wheelchair, and he playing.
He almost came out there for the last
playing
game.
wheelchair basketball.
Yeah, bruh. He changed his whole jump shot because he can't jump because he can't feel his foot. I'm just like, yo.
Honestly, the way he plays, he may drop 10, 12 points.
So this is what we got currently.
I'm ready
So
for
5-point spread right now. That spread's come
Damn,
down.
they got faith in our ass now. They was like, hey, these niggas
The Heat
hooping.
went from over like 200, 300 odds. Some games they're at plus 175.
But that's
now.
where they were at the beginning. Now they're kind of like, okay, they are who we thought they were.
Yeah. Over under is 214.5. I kind of like that. I would take the over.
I'm taking Lakers -5.
I would
Yeah,
take the over.
there were a lot of good points towards the end of that
Willie,
game.
you know
There
what
was a lot
time
of
it
good
is.
offense.
Yeah,
Willie, you
they
know what time
scored
it is.
last second buckets well. Let me ask you guys this, right? Because I actually got into a heated debate yesterday with my girl's mom. She was trying to say that Alonzo Mourning is more crucial to the Heat organization than Udonis Haslem. I told her I couldn't agree with that.
I can agree with that.
If you know, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, Zoe's
If you know,
Zoe
you
is an
know.
OG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Alonzo
Zoe wasn't-
created UD.
Zoe
If you know,
wasn't
you know.
From Miami. Zoe was
Stop
not
it.
drafted to Miami. Like, Udonis Haslem is straight through Florida. Like the man.
If
went to
Alonzo
UF,
Mourning
like,
isn't there, UD isn't.
UD will
who
be
UD
Alonzo
is.
Mourning when Alonzo Mourning's done being Alonzo Mourning.
how many rings Zoe got again, guys? One, right? Just one.
They have the same amount. He's
No,
been on
UD has-
every. What do you mean? UD
But
was
I'm
on
talking
the
about as a
06
player. I'm
team.
talking about as a player who is more crucial to the
Bruh,
organization. I'm going with UD.
UD has never been
UD was
a
starter.
first option on a team ever in his
don't
career.
care.
Never, even when we play that 82nd game of the season and we throw out fucking no-name scrubs, he is still a third option on the court. So you can't say that he's more vital as a player. You can't make that argument.
Oh.
Because
He means
Zoe's
more-
done
he
some
means more
things
to
in
my
the front office
organization
Bruh,
than Zoe ever
a
meant.
lot.
As a basketball player, Alonzo
As
in Charlotte
everything.
and Miami, you're tripping. What?
Not
No,
as a
I'm talking
basketball
about just
player,
for the
but
Heat. I'm talking
just
about
for the Heat. Just for
He
the
did
Heat.
when him in the '90s with the Heat, bro. He went crazy. He put them on the map.
Bruh, he
bro.
suplexed a nigga for
Like,
no
bro,
reason.
He put them
I don't know.
on the map.
I like
man.
you. UD would suplex somebody
There was
for
the
no
greatest
reason.
image I have of those.
Am I literally saying that Alonzo Mourning is not better than Udonis Haslem? No, I know obviously Alonzo Mourning's the better
He-
basketball player, but I'm talking about just who is more crucial.
If
to the
Alonzo
organization.
Mourning does not come to Miami, UD is not UD. Do you understand that?
No, I don't. That makes
See,
no fucking sense.
You don't understand that.
Don't.
You don't
How
understand
does
that.
that not make him who he is?
Bruh, Alonzo Mourning shaped that whole Shaq, UD, Dwayne Wade, that whole young team. Who the fuck was finna listen to Shaq? His out of shape ass. Or you gonna listen to the nigga that's actually 35 years old and in better shape than a MVP? I'm sorry, I'm gonna listen to the OG. As good as Shaq is, he can't play more
Plus,
than 30 minutes.
You got to think with Zoe too. Like he had a really bad illness that took him out for like 2 years.
Bro had
during his
kidney
playing
disease or
years.
something like that.
He-
Yeah,
he was-
he
Exactly,
had to get his
bro.
kidney removed or
It
some
was
shit.
yeah. No, he
It was
was
bad. I remember
But
that.
he was a special player for the Heat for all those years. And he's in the front office. He helps.
Zoe's Summer Groove. What are we?
Yo, I used to
Put
love
the mic down
I
right now.
met-
Come-
I
come
met
on now.
one- all right, first off,
Come on
fun
now.
fact, I was in the halftime show for one of those.
Come on
I
now.
got to meet the Jabberwockies, LeBron, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, and a few other people. That shit was lit.
That's really cool.
I would punch someone
that
in
shit
their knee.
was so much fun, man. I wish they would bring back Zoe Summer Groove.
So
All right,
Corona.
just because Willie said that, all right, you guys made me a believer.
Exactly.
Zoe Summer Groove, that's it.
Changed
so
your life.
That's it. That's
It
all that
changed
needs
your
to
life.
be said.
That's
It's
all I
over.
had to hear.
That's done. It's so. I'm gonna have a little surprise for the audience today for sticking with us, and once again, thank you for following us at Gamble
Yeah,
on
thank you for
Ginter.
listening to our shenanigans for 45
We've got
minutes.
a big announcement coming out, very soon with our online community and how you can come a part of it. So stay tuned. We're going to be making that announcement very, very soon. I know we're in the testing works of it. I got Chloe, I got Willie, I got a lot of different people. And
Not
and for
even
those,
testing. If you're already in the community, like,
Then you know-
you're
if you
getting
know,
that
you know.
opportunity.
if you
If
know,
you
you
know,
know. So everyone
know.
who's been in, like, we thank you very much for following us. And, we're going to get a part of it to the public. We want to make sure, our community, which is helping make a lot of money, although tough week this week.
Yeah,
but I think it was
this
for
was a little
everyone.
rough week.
I think that's for one of the same, but we really like this NFL slate. We got the Chanticleers coming. That's a little bit of a thought for maybe a little bit later, but
Quite possibly
gonna
the
make,
greatest college football team ever.
I'm going to make 2 picks for you guys today. Not 1, but 2. And the first game I want to go, and there are going to be games that we talked about here, but I just want to give you my brief thoughts on what I think. The Cleveland Browns game, you have Indianapolis, who we brought up a lot of points, are a really, really good defense. Now, Darius Leonard is out for this game. So he is a big key part of what they do. I think they've underachieved on offense throughout the season as well for Indianapolis to think about that. And, maybe Myles Garrett may be one of the best defensive players in football.
For sure, top 3 defensive linemen at this point.
Like just the way he may be the best artist at the strip sack. Him and Khalil Mack may have an argument, or Von Miller when healthy. So they got some firepower. And to get them at home, +1, with that kind of firepower, with Odell, Jarvis, Kareem Hunt. Yeah, I'm taking the Colts. I can't take the Browns in this game. We've got the Colts at -1. Honestly, if you want to just be safe, put it on the money line. I'm good. It won't be that much of a difference off your total, off your winnings. But I really like that, and parlay that with the Seahawks -7 against the Minnesota Vikings. They will have a good offensive game. That over is going to be definitely something to look at as well. But to be honest with you, on the outside, having DK and Lockett against that Minnesota defense with the level of play that Russell Wilson is playing right now, at home in a place where it's going to be raining, it's going to be Seattle football. Russ is used to it. I see a lot of points, and I see a blowout for the Seattle Seahawks in this one. So those are my 2 picks that I got, you guys. Hopefully we can have some parlays going. We can win some money together. I'd like to thank my guests from the Nothing But Facts podcast. We may have burnt you guys out on this show. Good to see you. Chloe, thank you for coming back. Willie, for
I
the
just
last
love
3
talking
weeks.
sports.
Yeah,
Catch
man.
them tomorrow live around what time? Like around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Are we doing
Are we doing it? It's up to
we're
y'all.
trying the new thing
We
tomorrow?
could do
we
the
were
test.
we were gonna do after the 4 o'clock game, so we were gonna record at 7:30.
We gonna aim for that time. So yeah, 7:30
p.m.
just
Eastern Standard Time.
social media. We gonna let you
And
know we own
we
that
gotta have
video.
the TV on because the finals start at that time, bro.
I don't know, man. We're gonna see.
It's gonna be a wild sports day, and
This shit
you
is
definitely
gonna
want
be
to follow. You want to definitely follow both of them, NBF Trill and MBF Chloe.
Yep. MBF_Trill, MBF_Chloe, MBF_podcast. Follow the boys, their families.
Gang
time to
shit,
go.
gang shit.
We'll see if Cheese could even win this week, but I plan on bitch slapping him.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that would be.
Jesus
we
Christ.
can't just
What's
reach into the
wrong?
Nothing But Facts barrel after this week too. We got to actually get creative
Yeah.
and start bringing on some people that'll really
We're gonna
impress you.
start looking into our bag of tricks, see who we can get on here.
So he's trying to get Cheese up out of here. Our thanks again to Cheese for making the picks, and hopefully he can actually come on and talk shit to you. But
No, he won't.
because you were very, very mean.
His
to
mom
him.
has to let him out.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Tennessee pass a touchdown. Whoop, whoop. Hey, up 21-17. I'm sorry. I make great picks in college football. I'm about 4-0 today so far. So, hey, if you ever need that, I'm here for that.
Why didn't you place a parlay?
Because I don't think like that. I'm placing bets tomorrow. I told you what I'm doing. I'm making it happen. I'm hitting.
For my co-host Daniel Amano, I am Peter Ginter. Follow me,
Did you almost
Ginty36.
forget who you were there?
No, I forgot who I was. Thank you guys for following.
At Gamble on Ginter,
At
at
Gamble
Ginty
on
Fresh
Ginter.
36, at Only Amano. You already know the MBF boys. Y'all be easy.
Have a good one.